happy birthday. Co-host extraordinaire, does most of the work on the podcast. So my brother, I got you something. As you can tell, I wrapped it really well.
Well, I love the wrapping.
But this is perfect because where are we right now?
Yeah, so we just got done talking to our buddy Stuart and Chris at Gibby's Bottle Shop.
Yeah, get y'all the logo here. Unassuming little spot, man.
If you pan around over here, this is the Harris Theater, same mall shopping center right behind the Coburg Cow, right next to the Petco.
You would think it's just a normal little liquor store. That place is insane.
Yeah,
So cool.
Great stuff. We got quite the little takeaway today.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. Get in there.
Okay. All right. It smells wonderful.
I'll explain it once you get it open.
It smells of rich leather mahogany.
It is a travel drink. So you put your
bottle and your
glasses
glasses
in
right
there,
there.
and your bottle in there.
Damn, dude.
Because you're always making the drinks, bringing them for the homies.
Appreciate that. I'm gonna use the shit out of this. That's super cool. Thanks, dog.
Yeah,
Appreciate that.
Looking
Thank you.
good.
That's badass.
Yeah, handmade,
Dude,
local company. So there you go, big guy.
appreciate you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. All right, so this is Stuart. I'm Scott, as usual. Welcome to Charleston Uncorked. We're doing a quick tour of Gibby's Bottle Shop in West Ashley. And I came here because I needed some spirits to make some cocktails for my birthday dinner this evening.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, we have some guys coming over tomorrow. We're going to play some cards and have some cocktails. And I need quite a few things. Stuart's the one that turned me on to the gin that we talked about a couple episodes ago.
I listened to that, by the way, too.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I need to get to writing podcast.
Yeah, well, I mean, stay tuned. We got a ton of cool stuff coming up. Every time I come in here, I'm like, God, I wish I brought the mics and maybe recorded this because it's such a cool spot. So we're here in the section. I'm going to be making some Negronis, and so I needed some sweet vermouth. And a couple times ago, I was turned on to Dolan instead of the Martin and Rossi traditional stuff that everybody uses. And so most people I see these days are drinking this stuff.
Yeah, that's like the premium option. And so it's about $15 more than kind of the other, I would say, higher end option. If I'm like a big vermouth head, I'd probably go for something like this. And it's like if you're drinking Negronis, something that has so much, like the vermouth is such a big part of that cocktail.
Right.
Like there's a good argument for using something like an Antica. But like for me, my workhorse at home, it's really this Kochi. Part of it's because it's a smaller bottle.
Right.
If we had pints of the Antica, my answer might be different. But for $15 cheaper and a 750, it does everything that I want it to. And I take it over the Dolan. I would say I use the Dolan if I'm like I've done, I did a copycat of Law Style out on John's Island. They do like a coffee Negroni.
Yes.
That's really good. And I just made a copycat of it, doing coffee beans and infusing the Campari with that. And that came out really well. And like I batched that. So I made like a whole bottle of it.
Oh, yeah.
I used the Dolan for that because I'm batching it, keeping in the fridge. Yeah, people are coming over. So it saves a few bucks. So like there's nothing wrong with the Dolan. The Dolan's great.
For that price point, you really can't beat it. I mean, $15. Now, how much is the Martin and Rossi? Let's show the people. This is what people will typically buy.
That's what you're going to get at your bar, typically.
Yeah, and it's $12. So for an additional, $3, you can get the Dolan.
Not worth it.
And I mean, so I'm just making my way up, just kind of getting into making cocktails. But everybody tells me about this if you can find it in a smaller bottle.
Yeah.
So that'd be my next request is if you guys can start carrying smaller bottles. Because I just can't, I'm not going to drink through a full liter in a amount of time.
We do like.
We'll split it.
Split it?
That's what we do.
Two. He just said batch cocktails. We'll do 2 batches. It's a good idea.
Interesting enough, I went to lunch with a buddy of mine today, and I've been talking about this cocktail that he made like 2 years ago. Every year we go to Folly Beach, you get a beach house for his wife's birthday.
Oh,
Shout
nice.
out Austin. And he makes this bash Negroni,
Mhm.
and it's coconut or cocoa nibs, fat wash,
Yeah. Coconut
batch.
oil.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And so I've been talking about, and so today at lunch, I was like, hey man, let me get that recipe. And he said, funny you should ask. I made you a bottle.
Oh, hell yeah.
And so, yeah, he's like, happy birthday.
There we go.
I've got that to make.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of, I think Last Saint does.
Yes.
They-
Love Last Saint.
They're Negroni.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right by Beautiful
Yep.
South.
Yep.
Yeah, they do a coconut fat wash Negroni. And I don't know if they fat wash the entire thing or if they fat wash one of the 3 ingredients.
So that's exactly what we were talking about. He washes his whole batch. And so that's what, we had Jack Rabbit Philly. And so they had a fat wash. It was a brown butter wash,
Mhm.
boozy cocktail that was amazing. And so he was like, yeah,
They make
they probably wash the whole batch.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
awesome. Jack Rabbit Philly's really cool. The bar manager there, his name's Will, awesome guy. He comes in all the time. And so they're one of our accounts. They're like 80% of our business is bars and restaurants.
Right.
And so that's one of the reasons why that Antica is a 1 liter.
Yeah.
Bars and restaurants, they want 1 liters of everything.
Well, I'm going to try this because you said this is your banger.
Yeah. Coachie's what I just keep that on hand all the time.
And let's head over to the gin section.
People come in a lot of times for our whiskey selection. I think that our gin, rum, and agave spirit sections are way more impressive. I could be a little bit biased because I'm kind of like moving away from most whiskeys. I still have, 5 to 10 bottles that I love and I'll grab and I'll drink. But the majority of what I'm doing now is kind of like what you said, where it's just cocktails. Like there's a few bottles that I'll sip, a few bottles of tequila that I'll sip, and a few bottles of whiskey that I'll sip. But I'm doing a lot of mixing right now.
Yeah, well, one of the things I came in here for last time, and we also mentioned them on one of the podcasts, was Nippatati because they're local.
Yep.
And so my wife likes the aviation cocktails, and it calls for gin. And again, both of these, this one and this one, are purple, so it makes the aviation pop a little more. So
Makes it a really pretty drink.
I just thought that was like a cool one also to support locally. And so you guys turned me out to Merle's Row. And so I've had the gin and the Tulsi. I'm here to try the third one.
The mini net is great. It's a little savory. I don't think it's as heavy on the juniper. It makes a banger martini. It's got like onion and olive oil and just a lot of different savory ingredients on it. It's very different. I mean, the owner came in from Merle's Row a few weeks ago. I talked to him about gin just in general. One of my issues with kind of the more floral style of gins is that they can start to taste a little bit soap. And he identified what it was right away, and it's the lavender. So a lot of gins have heavy amounts of lavender, so it gets that soapy kind of element to it. And so what they did is they just took the lavender out of all their gins. And so their Tulsi, which is their more floral style gin.
I love this one. This is the
It's
one
so
I come
good.
back to every time. Now, I've had the gin and it's good, but
The Tulsi is super unique. It's a little bit different. Their gin is just their London Dry.
Right.
And so I used to drink Beefeater. They dropped their alcohol content from 47 to 40, which doesn't stand up as well in cocktails. So I switched over to Ford's, and I love Ford's, and that was a brand made by bartenders for bartenders.
oh, yes, Austin was telling me about this.
Yeah.
That's this one here.
Yeah,
Right.
it's super cool because of the way that they designed the bottle. Like they were very intentional. And so on the side, they have the liter and the ounces.
That's
So
cool.
one, if you're batching something, or if you're taking inventory of your bar, you can quickly spin it around and say, cool, I've got half a liter left.
Yes.
They put this little kind of glass ridge on it. So if you're grabbing it from down low, you have something to hold on to. If you're grabbing it up here, you've got that little crease right there.
Wow.
It's a 1 liter. It comes in at 47%. So that really well in cocktails.
And 1 liter for $31.
That's where I like to be for my gin, like around $30.
Yeah. So these are 29. No, 29 for these two, and then 32 for the one I get.
For the mignonette. Yeah. And so that's the other thing is that I really like the price point of Murrells Row. The owners are super cool. They know their stuff. And they're massive in Georgia. And I think Charleston is now their largest market, like outside of Georgia.
Yeah.
And we have just a lot of bars and restaurants that are ordering it now. I mean, Coterie downtown does a 50-50 martini with a mignonette, and they put a little spoon of caviar.
Oh,
So
come on now.
Yeah. And I think that we brought it in for Gin Joint. They wanted it, and I tried it, and I was like, holy shit, this is really good.
Yeah.
And now it's the gin that I recommend by far the most kind of out of this section. I mean, I recommend a lot of Heyman's. I recommend Ford's a lot.
Look
and
what we
Murrells
got
Row.
here. Little Citadel.
Yeah, they're really popular. A lot of bars are using that as their kind of like wow, because it comes in at $24.
Yeah. Shout out Citadel.
The gin cocktail that I was telling you about. So it's called a Saturn. It's a tiki style drink. So it calls for a drink. So it calls for a lot. And it's funny whenever like my wife and I are running joke is like whenever we go to a bar, she sits down and orders a Sazerac, which is like a boozy stirred drink.
Right.
And I always order the drink that comes with the umbrella and the twisty straw.
That's funny.
But yeah, so a Saturn, it calls for gin, calls for lemon, passion fruit syrup, which is really easy to make. Okay, I'll tell you how to do that. It's on the other side. I'm blanking on the name. Velvet Falernum. This is like the standard one. This is the staple.
So is this another fortified wine product or is it liqueur? Okay.
I don't refrigerate it. I don't think you need to, because my guess is that it is a liqueur, so like you don't need to. A corn and oil on here is basically it's a rum old fashioned. It's like an old fashioned build, right? So it's 2 ounces spirit, half an ounce sweetener. It's a lot of like big tiki heads are making corn and oils. But it calls for that as well. And it's like one of my go-to drinks right now. I've been drinking it like nonstop.
Wow. Okay.
So highly recommend that.
Well, now you guys have a huge, right behind Tony, we've got a huge bourbon wall.
Yeah.
And, the rum is over here to the right. I know y'all have some funky rums. So if you guys are
I'm a big rum drinker.
Yeah. So what's your...
I've got a few. So rum is kind of an interesting category because it's got like whiskey has bourbon, and then you can kind of split the bourbon into a wheated bourbon or a high corn mash bill. Rum is kind of similar, but different, where you can have different starting points. So like cane juice versus Demerara versus actual just sugar cane. And then the type of still that they're using is also going to make a different flavored spirit. So column still versus pot still.
Right.
It used to be that you could just pinpoint like Jamaican rum, Guyana rum, Barbados rum. They all have their own very distinct kind of flavor profile. And that's true for the most part still, but because people are kind of moving around and it's not as good of a rule anymore. So a lot of the, there's a book called Smuggler's Cove that has a really cool kind of way to organize it, where is it column or is it pot? Is it lightly aged? Is it not aged? Is it heavily aged? And so that's just another way to do it.
Right.
Like the Sailor Jerry's, the Captains, the Bacardis, and those are kind of like the Espolons, the Patrons, the Don Julios.
Yeah.
Spice rum is like what I think of taking shots of in college and just being like,
Right.
And so like, I don't really mess with spice rum a whole lot. If I had to pick some staples that like I'm always keeping a white rum for daiquiris. Right now, I'm going between Probitas, which is out of Foursquare, which is one of the best rum distilleries. So I'll talk about Foursquare again in a second.
And what does that run? How much is that?
That's $30.
Okay, perfect. Great.
And I'm really enjoying 10 to 1 as well.
Yes.
Those are both blended. So they have,
Again, $30.
they have some Jamaican blended into it. And Jamaican rum is very distinct because it has what's called hogo, which is like this funk.
Right, but these are Caribbean, right?
These are blended. So they're going to have different styles of rums. And they're kind of blended to be a perfect one bottle daiquiri. And so when I'm making something like a Mai Tai or a Jungle Bird, I'm blending myself a couple different rums to get the flavor profile that I want.
Ooh, Jungle Bird.
And some of these people basically said, let's skip that step and just bottle something that has all the flavors of the different styles of rums that we want. So that when you're making something like a daiquiri, you just got to reach for one bottle.
Right.
Which is awesome. And so those are my two kind of like daiquiri rums. El Dorado is one of my staples. I mean, they're 5 years, $23. The 12 years a great sipper at $38.50.
Dang. Clearly people are drinking that.
Yeah, I mean, the nice thing about rum is like, I mean, we've got a 30-year rum here for 170, so that's pretty expensive, but we got a 25-year-old rum for 96.
Damn.
What's that? How much alcohol?
These Ron Centenarios right here, these are out of Costa Rica.
What's that clocking in at alcohol-wise?
They're probably around 40%.
Yeah, most of them are 40.
But yeah, so like my Mai Tai.
What's your funkiest?
Yeah,
what's your weirdest?
Funkiest Smith and Cross. This stuff is fantastic.
Austin drinks this all the time.
When I'm making a Mai Tai or Jungle Bird, I put at least half an ounce up to an ounce of this stuff. And this is like the bartender mecca of like, how do I get some Jamaican funk into a drink?
Right.
It's great. It's a good price. It comes in at Navy strength, so it's 57%. So it does really well in a cocktail.
35 bucks, 34 bucks.
And so usually I'm blending an El Dorado and a Smith and Cross. Sometimes I'll do an Appleton, which is also a Jamaican rum, but not as funky as Smith and Cross. A lot of people say if you put more than like half an ounce of Smith and Cross, it overpowers a drink. I don't feel that way because I
You like it?
Jamaican.
Sure.
Planetary 3 stars great. It's super cheap. This is a great daiquiri style rum. I've really been digging Scarlet Ibis, which is a Trinidad style rum. Comes in at $30.
$30.
This makes a great like rum old fashioned. It's got some of the nice kind of like whiskey drinker notes on it.
I got to get more into rum. I'm making my way around.
You'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
You're going through like the same progression that
everybody
I did. And I hear so many people where it's like, I start with beer, craft beer, get into the whiskeys, and then start like a lot of times it's into tequila.
Yep.
And then you start getting into the cocktail scene of like, oh, let me make all these cool drinks. Then you get into gins, and then eventually you'll get to rums.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting because we've had the same exact conversation with O.H. Jadoon, and Jack Pitts and a bunch of other people. It's the same conversation over and over again.
It's the same path, right?
For sure.
So out here, these are all our barrel picks. So usually, more often than not, 95% of the time, it means that we bought an entire barrel, and they'll send a few samples, or the owner will go up to a distillery, taste a few things straight from the barrel, decide which one you want. Those are the exceptions to the rule.
531. You can get your hand on the model.
Just for the small price.
So, out of all of these picks, I gotta ask you, what's your favorite?
I gotta go with the Larceny right here.
I mean, last one.
It's the last one. We sold through a lot of it on Saturday, later allocation day. The Larceny is great. I mean, it's the Old Fitz mash bill. It's a wheated bourbon. That one's aged 8 years. It's a barrel proof. And I actually did a side-by-side of that and Old Fitz 9, which is the bottle and bond, so it's 100 proof.
Yeah.
And I thought the Larceny stood up just as good. There you go. It's got more proof on it, so you get a little bit more flavor. I got the Old Fit.
You had one left.
Sorry,
everyone.
Sorry, everybody.
Other than that, our rare character is really good. We just got that in a few weeks ago. I really like stuff out of Rare Character.
Yeah, they're very popular these days. Everybody seems to be doing barrel picks with them.
Yeah, that's the thing is Rare Character, and I consider Penelope in the same kind of category of an out of bunch of different stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to keep up with what's good and what's not.
Now, are they making their juice or is it NGP? Or?
Yeah, they're going in and buying either individual barrels or lots of barrels.
Yeah.
And then
Where,
all over. A lot of it's NGP.
Yeah.
But they go to other places too.
And then they just they finish it in their own barrel.
Yeah. Or they leave in the barrels and they taste it and say this is going to be great for 3 years or it's ready right now. Yeah. So this is leftovers from our allocation day. And so that was Saturday. We used to do that once a year. We had a lot of stuff out this year. And it's interesting. I think the bourbon kind of hype craze is dying down a little bit.
Yeah, I hear a lot of that. Oh, dang. Yeah, you should. Yes, I will 100% be kidding.
Yeah, so we put a bunch of Fortaleza out, which is like the hard to find tequila.
You don't have any more still strength.
No, I wish. The Still Strength is one of my favorite bottles.
Yes, these typically are like 100 plus.
Yeah,
if you can find them.
a lot of times if you see it
to find.
sitting on a liquor store shelf, it's sitting there because it's priced up from MSRP.
Exactly.
One of the things that we kind of pride ourselves on is not pricing up to secondary. And so it's really nice because we're not really, the people who are coming in and buying things are paying secondary prices.
Yeah.
The downside is that when we have something, it makes it flies pretty.
Yeah, I mean, even the 1792 sweet wheat, I mean,
Yeah.
$50. This goes 100 all day, every day on secondary.
Yeah.
So
And so,
these are great prices.
yeah, so we got some stuff left over that we're keeping out here until
I've ordered it. I see this. What do you think of this stuff?
end of days.
Tell me about
They're,
that.
I think they're out of Wilmington.
Okay.
They-
North Carolina.
Yeah, they actually have a really good canned cocktail called a Hurricane. It's a normal cocktail, but it's really freaking good. Out of like the stuff that we have in the cooler, the Hurricane's probably one of my favorites. But they make a bunch of stuff. They're making rums. They're making agave spirits. They can't call it tequila because they're making it here.
Right.
But they have a pretty decent actually agave spirit. Well, I mean, am I buying it?
Speaking of agave spirits,
We have a lot of like all the spring banks up there. Like I've had a lot of people come in that say like, I never see it on a shelf anywhere.
yeah.
And so we have some really good scotches. This is like, this and the wine are the two sections of the store that I'm not trying to get into because I just don't need another hobby and more bottles to collect.
Well,
For
you
now.
got some, not to jump around on
Yeah.
you, but I'm into Irish whiskey, Japanese
Yep.
whiskey. So y'all have some fantastic
I
stuff.
just tried this recently and really liked it.
Well,
Classic.
I did 2 tours
Love
in
this.
Ireland, and
Okay.
each trip that one,
Yeah,
every
Yeah.
spot there, we were like, "What's the best one?" And they're like, "Honestly, nothing beats Redbreast 12." So
I've
you
tried
got
a
the
couple of
15
like the
and
gold
18.
spots, the green spots.
Yeah.
Right. I've tried a few of those. They're good. We have kind of a smaller selection of Japanese whiskey. We have the one that I really liked we're out of right now. It's a blend between, it's out of the Nika distillery.
Uh-huh.
It's a blend of these two and another third one that I forget.
Right.
I really like that one. It's like a short stout
Didn't you
bottle.
do this one time, Scott?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
mean, so Yamazaki 12.
Yeah,
up
same
top,
thing. Like that's an
Suntory.
allocated bottle.
Right.
Allocated bottle.
Yeah, I love anything Suntory. I'm into their stuff.
These
And I like Nika
guys,
too.
Same
guys.
they Seahorse downtown,
Uh-huh.
they have like a very authentic Japanese style highball machine
Oh,
that's like, and my buddy who went to Japan, he came and told me about it and was like, the highballs there are different than like how we do it here.
right.
And he explained it to me and I'm like, I'm pretty sure Seahorse does that. And so I talked to the Seahorse bartender and she was like, yeah, it's the machine that does it. I don't even know what it is.
So Seahorse is the cocktail bar next to Chubby Fish.
Yeah,
right?
it's same owners.
owners,
Yeah, it's meant
so-
to be like the way normal.
Right.
But they make great stuff. I haven't been there yet, but everyone
been
that
there.
I've talked to, so
And it's It's incredible. I mean, I want to go back just to try that. They have some like finger foods and stuff that are fantastic. So let's talk about agave spirits, because I also need some of that in my life. I typically come here for the Del Maguey.
Yeah.
Because at, usually 30, 40 bucks and all the way up to, as you can see, some of them are 130 bucks.
They do some single village expressions, which is really cool, which means that they're getting all the agave from that one village. A lot of times they're distilling it in that one village. So they have a couple really good expressions there. The Classicos just spit super, like that burnt wood, like
Smoky.
it's super smoky.
Yes.
And
That's what I love about it.
Yeah.
Because like Chris was saying earlier, he's not into smoke stuff.
Yeah.
Which is why he doesn't like the scotches and
Exactly.
things. And I wasn't either until I went to Ireland.
Yeah.
First time.
Yeah.
I could appreciate peat.
Exactly. When
and
you're
smell.
there and you see it, and it definitely changes things.
Yeah. So what else are you guys?
So
What else is hit? Almost.
Vondas used to be my go-to. So 1 liter, when I started buying it, it was like $30 a bottle.
Yeah.
It's gone up a little bit.
Everything has gone up in the
Yeah, it's
agave world.
yeah, definitely. So the mezcal world's a little bit different than the tequila world.
Yeah.
And the tequila world, you can see what's called a NOM, NOM, and then it has a 4-digit number after it, and that's basically the distillery that it comes out of, and usually is associated with the head distiller or tequilero of that distillery. And so that if something's coming out of 1579, it's going to be a really high quality product. Mezcal doesn't have that same kind of system that you can very easily identify what's good artisanal versus what's mass produced.
Right.
There are a couple different things that you can look for. I'm going to grab like my favorite bottle.
Oh yeah. I got that last time I was here.
And so one of the things that you want to look for is just all this information. What type of agave are they using? How are they grinding it? The still they're using. And so those are usually good signs because it takes away things that they can hide. The other thing that you're looking for, and this doesn't always work, but if something's not 40% alcohol, that's usually a good sign. If something says artisanal, or there's another one.
So you don't want 40% because
It's like a rule of thumb, right?
they're watering it down, they're batching it down.
It's just usually like they're creating consistencies within the batch because they're producing so much of it.
Right.
And so it's not a perfect rule, but it's like these things, it's like, oh, if you can check 3 out of 4 boxes or 2 out of 3 boxes, like that's usually a good sign. And so really what I look for is how much information are they disclosing?
The more, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Like this ensemble out of Vago is fantastic. And I just tried this. I think it's either new to South Carolina or new out of Vago. I'm not sure. That green label, that stuff's great for $40. I really like it.
I had this Real Monero Pachuga at
That stuff is insane.
it is. I mean, if you're willing to drop 200 bones,
Yeah.
check this stuff out. It is incredible. I had it at Louis Ranchero. They did a tasting for me up there, and it was incredible, out of this world. I've also had this one there. That was also really delicious. This place makes some really good stuff.
Yeah. The ones that I'm recommending the most, definitely Vago.
Yep.
The Bond has, I recommend a decent amount. Ray Campero makes great stuff. Like their Espadine is super great.
Yeah. So what about tequila?
Tequila is what I sip the most. And so kind of going back to that idea of looking at the gnome and the number that follows that, there's a few that I gravitate towards. And so Artenome is, what they do is they go into a distillery. So 1579 is G4. It's technically El Pandillo, but G4 comes out of El Pandillo. And Artenome says, just make us an expression. And it's nice because, like for example, Coscuing right here, they have to make this Blanco and this Reposado be consistent. And Coscuing is one of my favorites, but they are kind of tied to to presenting these 4 labels in a consistent way. And so what Artanone does is it allows them to go in and just say, make something great. And so 1123 Cosqueen, I really like. Same thing with the same.
Ooh, yeah.
It's the same concept as Artanome, where they're going around to different distilleries and saying, make something.
Yeah, this stuff is really good.
Yeah. And so I really like
I
Cosqueen.
got this one.
That one's supposed to be fantastic. Anything out of 1123, Lagrimas is also out of 1123. They're making great stuff. 1579 is El Pandillo. So that's going to be like the big name that you think of out of El Pandillo is G4. And we've got a fantastic line G4.
Yes, this is the one you let me taste and I ended up buying
This stuff
last
is
time I
so
was
good.
here. So tell us about what that is. Because I remember you said you were going back to a different style of
Yeah.
Make-
So that they released in like 2012, 2015, something like that, under this label. And so this is their Classico kind of special release. What they did differently with those 2 expressions is they left the agave fibers in the fermentation tanks as opposed to taking them out. And so you get a little bit more of the sweetness, you get a little bit more agave forward with tasting it. And so it's really nice. I love, for my favorite bottle, other than the Classico Blanco, is this Madeira Blanco.
Ramian.
And so what they're doing there is they're using wood fermentation tanks instead of like the stainless steel. And so it kind of changes the flavor.
Yeah.
High proof is great. I've been getting into high proofs recently.
Now, what do you sipping it or you're mixing it?
I'm sipping that.
Okay.
Same thing with the Cosmoons. I'm sipping that.
Yeah, it's too good to mix.
Yeah. Coscanas is
Dude.
great.
So I see this everywhere. So I follow a lot of people on YouTube, etc. And a lot of these guys, this is their favorite brand.
It's great.
Now tell me, like, why? What stands them out amongst everybody else? Look at the color on this one. Look how dark that one is.
Yeah, I mean it's really high quality. They're putting really high quality ingredients into their tequila. They're a newer brand, so there's a funny story. So they have this expression called
He's got more.
yeah, we have the extra añejo out there, which is great. They have this expression called nuestras raíces, and so they also call it jugo de seltra,
Pretty good.
selva,
Yes, very good.
which is jungle juice. And so the story is that there's a couple of guys who go down to Mexico and they're trying to start a tequila brand. They hire this taxi driver to drive them around distilleries. They go through a bunch of them. They're not happy. They get really messed up their last night there. And so they're in the taxi going home, kind of hungover. And the taxi driver overhears them talking. And it's like, hey, me and my family have been buying our tequila from the same guy for generations. Like, do you want to go and check him out? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, hell yeah, like, let's go. And so they roll up to this guy. This guy's basically housed. They taste the tequila and they're like, whoa, this is crazy good. And so the story is that they'd hired this guy. They moved him down to where they were producing. I believe they were trucking in the water where he was originally distilling. And it turned out that the guy, and again, I don't know if it's true or not. This is a story that the rep told me. He was a little bit too much of a fan. And so they kind of parted ways. But what they did with this expression is they went back to him and said, hey, can you make us a bottle the way that like we first tried it when you made it for us? And so they can't call it tequila because it's not made in one of the 5 states. But that bottle is like one of my favorite bottles because it's got all the tequila notes that you want. It's got the agave, the black pepper, the citruses, the minerality, but it's got a little bit of like a hint of that burnt wood that you get from a mezcal. It's really good. It's one that like you sip on, you kind of chew on it, you think about it, you're like, that's different, really good. But yeah, so they have a cool story.
Well, let me ask you, so I see they've got a Blanco for $72.
Yeah.
Between that and Fortaleza, which one are you getting? Because that's about the same price point. I've had the Fortaleza.
There's cheaper bottles that I'd grab over Fortaleza. Cheaper than that.
Okay, well, fuck Fortaleza, let's put them back.
I mean,
Getting.
the thing is,
I've had that.
this is, I mean,
So I like to try new things.
I almost take these two over Fortaleza. That's kind of a hot take. Fortaleza is great. I love it. And I have a bottle of each expression at home because people come over and they're like, oh my God, I want to try that. I'm like, cool, yeah, have some. And it's great. Don't get me wrong. And I really appreciate the way that they're keeping their scale small. Like they can expand. They've got 3 stills. And there's one of those stills, every single ounce of juice that comes out of that place goes through that one still.
Yeah.
And for reference, they're making about, I want to say 75,000 liters a year. Jose Cuervo's making 295,000 liters a day.
Oh, good.
And so that's kind of the scale that they're at,
That's big.
which I appreciate. And the bottles, they're all handmade.
And painted cork.
Exactly. I mean, hand ground, like there's videos of the people working there grinding the little, what's called the pina, the little clay pina. And so like, I appreciate that, right? Like they are doing it the right way, the way that he's always done.
So interesting. G4 of Fortaleza and Cascanes.
You heard
Yeah.
of
I think so. I mean, I really liked like the Artenome 1123, the Coscoine High Proof, and Tahona.
Yeah.
I liked those because they have a lot of that black pepper. They have a lot of like the minerality, which is like that brininess, like salty almost.
Yeah.
Some people describe it as like the smell of fresh rain on concrete.
Oh,
Interesting.
And
very exact.
I like that. And like the same reason why I like that special edition of the Cascana is just 'cause it's very different. It's not just like a standard high quality Blanco. It's just different. And
Yeah.
so
Well,
when the reps came in and we tried the whole Cascanas lineup, the majority of the G4, a bunch of Coscoine, Volans, which is out of El Pandillo, which is G4, 1579. My favorites were the Coscoines, the
You guys hiring? Sounds fun.
I know.
actually are hiring.
Oh, they
But yeah, so that's, I mean, I really like Alma de Jaguar down here. They're making some great stuff.
Oh, Jaguar.
AKA Jaguar.
yeah.
Jaguar.
Thick.
They give a certain amount of their,
Thank you, Gringo.
yeah, right. They give a certain amount of their proceeds to help save jaguars in northern Mexico and southern U.S.
Yes, we all have a passion for the
Well, Cimarron.
northern Mexico
Yeah,
jaguar.
right to the left of that is
This-
bang for a buck. You got a leader.
That's my mixer.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
This is right here.
Yeah, the Blanco. I mean, I'm a Blanco. I put a drinker, but that's if I'm having people in, I always keep a bottle of it out. And if I'm not sipping, and I've sipped that before.
Yeah, it's
good.
I thought
good.
it's definitely got a very unique flavor. And the first time I get any spirit, I'm trying.
Right.
Just
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to taste it.
100%.
And so this one like shocked me. I was like, this is not just like straight up tequila. This is
It's good, high
fantastic.
quality.
Yeah.
And the big thing that like I'm looking for is I want additive free.
Yeah.
And I want it made in kind of the traditional way. And I would like them to be, paying what they should be for the agave and treating the farmers and paying them well and taking care of their people.
Right.
And so there's a bunch of lawsuits going on. There was some strikes down in Mexico from the agave farmers.
yeah.
When you kind of like look at what they were doing, what some of the big brands were doing in terms of like deflating and underpaying the agaves, like it wasn't even like 30% undercut. It was like going from $30 a pound to $3 a pound. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something like that. Like it was just like, it didn't even make sense.
Well, not only that, they were using, some of them were blending it with like cane liquor.
A neutral spirit. Yeah. There's 4 big ones right now. The 4 big companies that are in those lawsuits, the class actions. Yeah. We carry a few of those brands mainly because
AKA Casaminos.
Casamitas is one
Not
of
to
them.
call them out, but
Next to a G4 Reposado, and just kind of look at the difference in color.
Oh, look at that.
Um,
So for the record, these are both reposados.
yeah, so Reposados has to be aged for like up until 12 months. So 30 days to 12 months is a Reposado. 12 months to 3 years is an añejo. 3 years plus is an extra añejo.
But why is this one so good?
That's a Rosa. So that spent some time in a wine barrel.
Oh, I love it. When
And so the interesting thing too, this is kind of nerdy. You can have a Blanco that's aged, 29 days, 23
Wow.
hours, 59 minutes,
Right.
and still call it a Blanco.
Like
Some
this
people,
one.
yeah, exactly. Some people call it barrel rested, but it's still just a Blanco.
Yeah.
G4, I believe it's Felipe Camarena. Yeah, Felipe Camarena. He's the tequilero at El Pandillo, which is 1579. He's he very much doesn't. He gravitates towards Blancos. He doesn't really like aged tequila.
Yeah.
And so, I use the G4 as an example, and G4, and it's probably not really a fair comparison because G4, he doesn't like aged stuff. So he pulls it like the second that he can,
Yeah.
so that he can check the box of calling it a reposado because they need to make a reposado. And a lot of times he uses heavily used barrels so that you don't get as much of the barrel notes on the tequila. And I always say, like, if they can't make a good Blanco, they're not going to make a good reposado.
That's a good rule of thumb.
And so
Yeah, those are the expensive guys up
Yep.
there, Class
I've
A.
tried all of those Paso Azules except for that orange box.
Yeah.
I've tried a $2,000 bottle.
It's like drinking syrup, right?
Yeah, it's sweetened. It's
Yeah,
sweetened.
you
I
can
mean,
tell.
I appreciate that.
The bottles are
everything's-
beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bottles are beautiful. They're handmade. They're hand painted.
They got a bell on them.
They got a bell on it.
They
right?
look like,
you go to the
honestly, it
all-inclusive
looks like
resort.
a high-end sex toy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that vibe. But like, if I'm
It's
buying
okay,
something off the
maybe-
top shelf, like these G4s are great.
What's in the
Sure,
boxes
yeah.
on those G4s?
Yeah, so
Oh,
these
those
are
are
their Dia de
beautiful.
los Muertos
Oh, it's
editions.
Dead.
The one on the left is last year's. The blue one is this year's.
They stepped it up a little bit.
Yeah, and they lowered the price on it,
Love
which is
it.
nice.
Nice little Citadel Blue.
Fuente Seca is like one of the, like, if you want aged tequila, like they're really some of the only people that are aging things 7, 11, 15 years. I have an 18.
So I saw this one. One of my buddies had that. What
Tears
is
of
that?
Verona. Yeah, I mean that's probably one of the best extra añejos. It's really good because it doesn't lose the agave during the aging process.
Yeah.
A lot of extra añejos, it just becomes super barrely and oaky, and you don't get the tequila notes.
Right.
And so that's a great bottle.
I mean, I know the bourbon craze, as they say, is cooling off, but not in my house.
Now with part it's on the price. Hard to beat.
Really?
You keep that in the freezer. So a buddy of mine said an old fella that he met turned him on to mellow corn, and he's like, just put this stuff in the freezer and drink it straight. And it's, strength corn whiskey. It's really good. I mean, I liked it. It's very sweet, but this is a liter bottle and bond for $21.
Yeah. And right next to it's one of my favorites as well is Rittenhouse. That's kind of my workhorse rye.
Yeah.
It's only 51% on the rye, on the mash bill.
You see that in a ton of places. They're
Yeah.
using that as their well.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's $30, a little bit more, $33 for a 1 liter. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Old Granddad, another kind of like in that same price point staple. Yeah. The 114 is great. A lot of people take it over their 16 year,
Yeah.
which is $200 or something like that.
Right.
Antique is a little bit more complex. You get a little bit more flavors in it, but for something that you can find and is under $50, the Bardstown Weeded is great.
Now, I got to ask you, because both Tony and I went to the Citadel.
I actually
What's
haven't
your-
tried that.
What's your take on it?
I haven't tried it.
I may want to stay there.
Yeah.
I hesitate with local distilleries in general.
Well, we have a theory. That was distilled in Virginia.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
it's not a local.
Which is problem
sourcing.
one.
So they are sourcing.
but not MGP.
And so we have a theory that maybe it was sabotaged by VMI.
Oh, it's like they just, yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
in Virginia, Newport News, Virginia, distilled, aged, and bottled by Ironclad Distillery Co.
Yeah, I honestly don't know much about that.
So I was given this as a gift,
as a housewarming gift. It was very thoughtful, very cool.
The story's cool.
It was such a bummer to taste it.
Yeah. Yeah. It didn't work out.
So I was like, this just doesn't do anything for me.
But
So
also my doing Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye. These are great.
$69.
Yeah, that's a great rye.
So I had this toasted rye.
I think it's solid.
It's really good.
Yeah, I really liked it. And I'm not normally a big Elijah Craig guy. There's something about it that doesn't sit right on my palate. But there are certain bottles that I do like. And so I've had a couple single barrels that I really liked. But apparently some of the barrel proofs are supposed to be really good.
Virgil Cane is another local distillery. Same Cannon, Nippertatty. They're all in the same spot. We've talked about doing a tour with those guys. Actually, I did a mini tour with them.
This
That's
right
the
here,
finished stuff.
that sits at home
That's-
for my beautiful bride.
There you go.
Like if I'm sitting there sipping and she's like, all right, I know you don't want to make me a drink, but I want something.
It's good to have that in the back pocket.
And I like it too, for the record, but it's very easy to just pour over a glass or rock.
Their stuff is NGP sort.
The other thing that we have a lot of that people are always kind of surprised by, and I don't know if it's people from coming out of state or what, but we do carry pretty much the whole Peerless lineup just on the shelf at all times.
That's awesome. Because that is people are now out of the bunch, toasted or what? What's
The double oak is great.
yeah.
The high rise is supposed to be fantastic. Yeah. What else? What else do we have? I mean, Sazerac rye is great. I really like that rye.
Buffalo Trace product.
Yeah, that's one of the only Buffalo Trace products we are able to just stock our shelf with.
Yeah, that's pretty readily available everywhere. Again,
Yeah, we just got the half gallons too.
Oh,
It's kinda
that's a
cool.
big boy.
Yeah. And then here's the Larceny, the normal Larceny lineup. This is the C9. This is a C924, which is supposed to be fantastic.
yeah.
And that's a great price. I mean, their normal small batch is $27. Their barrel proof is 65. A 1 liter's at 30. It's a great weeded bourbon. I mean, we talked about it when we were talking about our barrel pick that is no longer, but the normal stuff is great too.
Now, have you heard anything about chicken cotton?
I don't know much about it, honestly.
So my wife bought me this exact bottle for I don't know if it was Father's Day or my birthday last year or something. Somebody turned her on to it when she was like, "Hey, my husband drinks bourbon. What should I get?" So she got this one, the double oak.
Yeah.
And I mean, it surprised me how delicious. It did not last very long. I was
Good
like,
sign.
oh, this is, kind of a gimmicky, funny name. But dude, I drank pretty quickly, so I enjoy the shit out of that.
We're at a Bardstown, so they're doing their own thing.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of Bardstown, that was one of my favorite distilleries that we visited in Kentucky. So
They have some
Bardstown.
crazy expressions too that are supposed to be fantastic.
Another local thing that we've, we did the
Highlight.
peach. Out of these, I've not tried the double oak. I heard good things about them.
It's solid.
Solid. I've had all
honestly,
their other stuff.
I really liked the classic last time I had it. They have a weeded that's solid. It's $100.
That's the one in the ceramic bottle, right?
So last year's release, all of it was in a ceramic bottle. I believe this year you could only get the ceramic bottle at the distillery. I could be wrong.
Do you know when they're releasing that?
That's released.
Oh, it's already
Yeah. So they have 3 batches. It's batch 4, 5, and 6. And I believe you can go to the distillery and get a flight of them. And I tried it. It's good. It's a good, solid, weeded whiskey. And they're actually one of the local distilleries that I do confidently recommend.
Yeah.
They've got a cool story. The Jimmy Red corn, it's 100% corn on the mash bill. So you're getting a lot of those sweet notes. Same thing with the melon corn.
Yeah.
And obviously with the exception of the weeded, it's just 100% corn.
Well, this is another these two are local. So Cannon is part of that same distillery that we were talking about earlier. But what do you think of these people? Beyond
makes some good stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
So they got this coconut rum.
yeah,
I was
funny-
eyeballing
They
it.
also have a gin too.
Yeah, they have.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a.
Yeah,
My
shit.
wife loves that gin.
Funny enough, that coconut rum is what I recommend to people who are drinking Malibu.
Oh,
It's a much better version of Malibu. It's not syrupy. It's still sweet, but it's just a better quality Malibu.
And the bottles.
It's a nice bottle.
Yeah.
It's a good price. And so, I think a lot of people are drinking Malibu because they want the sweet syrupy type thing. But I think this is a much better bottle.
South Carolina, don't get any more local.
Then good gin. Then there you have it. Good rum. Cool.
Well, that should wrap up the bourbon wall. So if you guys ever have the opportunity to come check out Gibby's Bottle Shop here in West Ashley, come see Stuart.
There you go.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Charleston Uncorked. The only way we are going to grow is if you tell your friends. So please like, subscribe, and share. We would be eternally grateful. Thank you again for listening to this episode of Charleston Uncorked. We hope you enjoyed.